Well, this is it. We'll finally be done.
You must be talking about Tasha's Cauldron and everything. We've done all the subclasses so far, except for the last wizard subclass, Order of the Scribe.
I'm Nerdarchy Ted.
And I'm Nerdarchy Steve. Welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds.
Well, it's time to get nerdy with the nerdiest of the wizard subclasses.
All right, I'm going to grab my handy-dandy device and pull up Order of the Scribe here on my D&D Beyond.
And I'm going to pull up, my the Dead Tree version here.
And, apparently I'm making things up. It's actually Order of Scribes, not Order of the Scribe. That's not a thing, in case you were wondering. As always, we have our quip from Tasha. Magic is great and all, but have you smelled a book?
I mean, there's something to be said there. I mean, new book smell is something that, is out there. I think
it's like new car smell, right? and then once it's faded, it's just, just sad.
So we go into it. Magic of the book. That's what many folk call wizardry. The name is apt, given how much time wizards spend poring over tomes and penning theories about the nature of magic. It's rare to see wizards traveling without books and scrolls sprouting from their bags, and a wizard would go to great lengths to plumb an archive of ancient knowledge. Among wizards, the Order of Scribes is the most bookish. It takes many forms in different worlds, but its primary mission is the same everywhere, recording magical discoveries so that wizardry can flourish. And all while wizards' vague spell books, a wizard in the Order of Scribes magically awakens their book, turning it into a trusted companion. All wizards study books, but a wizardly scribe talks to theirs.
Yeah, I mean, it's straight up AI, right? Arcane intelligence. Hey, but if you want more information on Order of Scribes, you can go over to nerdarchy.com. We have an article up there. Wizard like no other, Order of the Scribes, Tasha's Cauldron to everything. There will be a link up here in the cards as well as in the description. You can go check that out.
And if you like these videos and the articles that we do over on nerdarchy.com and you'd like to help keep us making more, why not head over to Patreon and support us over there?
As a special thank you, you'll receive rewards every month for 5e for both players and DMs alike. We make magic items, monsters, spells, subclasses, races, drop-in encounters. We even throw maps up there from some of our games. You name it, we probably do it over there. Some of those magic items are going to even be made into print and play magic item cards for you to download. And even a chance to game with Nerdarchy. There will be a link in the description as well as up here on one of the cards. You can actually go over there and get a free download of some samples to see what kind of stuff that we give out as rewards.
All right, so without further ado, let's dive into what you get access to for this wizard tradition. So at second level, you get Wizardly Quill. As a bonus action, you can magically create a tiny quill in your free hand. The quill has the following properties. The quill doesn't require ink. When you write with it, it produces ink in a color of your choice on the writing surface. The time you must spend to copy a spell into your spellbook equals 2 minutes per spell level if you use the quill for the transcription. You can erase anything you write with the quill if you wave the feather over the text as a bonus action, provided the text is within 5 feet of you. The quill disappears if you create another one or if you die.
The question is, does it work if you write upside down? And then it is even better than the astronaut pen.
I would imagine it writes on anything that you try to write with because it produces the ink magically.
And it's a complete time saver. Pretty much, this is almost a 100% ribbon ability, but it's very cool and thematic.
I dare say that there is room for negotiation here, and this might be a touchy situation, but for the most part, when you are putting a spell into your spell book, it says that you need, X gold cost for parchment and ink. If the ink is there, is this an unwritten, deduction on all your spells since you're doing it magically?
Maybe. I mean, you can try and negotiate that with your DM. I don't know that you're going to get away with it. But, I mean, Wizard is the most cost-prohibitive class in the game currently.
Yep.
You definitely have to pay the Wizard tax.
I mean, unless, you're looking at Fighter or Paladin and you want that plate mail. But,
Spells cost way more than plate mail over time. Once you get that plate mail, that's it. You're done. There's really nothing else. Also, the fact that you can, summon it as a bonus action, you can dismiss your pen as well. I feel like I want to make a graffiti character. All they do is tag things with their magic ink, and then the wash shows up, and they're like, I don't got no ink.
It wasn't me.
I don't got no quill. They ran that way. It's definitely a fun thing. Also at second level, we're not done yet. We get Awakened Spellbook. Using specially prepared inks and ancient incantations passed down by your wizardly order, you have awakened an arcane sentience within your spellbook. While you're holding the book, it grants you the following benefits. I noticed it didn't say summon your quill and write. So I don't know, your DM might be able to use this as their argument. You can use the book as a spellcasting focus for your wizard spells. That's awesome. We've always thought that's something you should be able to do anyway. When you cast a wizard spell with a spell slot, you can temporarily replace its damage type with the type that appears in another spell in your spellbook, which magically alters the spell's formula. For this casting only, the latter spell must be of the same level as the spell slot you expend. When you cast a wizard spell as a ritual, you can use the spell's normal casting time rather than adding 10 minutes to it. Once you use this benefit, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. If necessary, you can replace the book over the course of a short rest by using your wizardly quill to write arcane sigils in the blank book. Oh no, I'm completely wrong. Or a magic spell book to which you are attuned. At the end of the rest, your spellbook's consciousness is summoned into the new book, which the consciousness transforms into your spellbook along with all its spells. If the previous book still existed somewhere, all the spells vanish from its pages. Like, that is like the best part about this spellbook. Because like the greatest fear of being a wizard is having your spellbook destroyed or lost because you lose all those spells.
And in, campaigns past, that's actually happened. We've had a wizard that lost their spell book, and it's like, okay, well, you can transcribe any spell that you still have memorized or prepared, using the current terms. But it's like, okay, you write those things down and you've got them, but anything that you didn't have prepared, they're gone. You got to start all over. And all that gold cost, that comes back with it. And no other wizard has that particular feature of being able to have this spell book that you can just whoop and you get it back. That is just absolutely amazing and pretty unprecedented.
It's huge. I mean, the second level ability is a big deal. I mean, being able to use your spell book as a focus, super cool. It's not any better or worse when it comes to casting spells, but being able to trade out damage types for anything that you have in your book at that particular level is awesome. Super useful.
And if you're playing a very tactical game where there's going to be things that have resistance and immunity,
vulnerabilities,
vulnerabilities is even better. But like when you play with these kinds of things, and to be able to reshape and make your spells, like it then makes the kind of wizard like, okay, well, I've got this kind of ability, but then can I use this ability and create this new spell, do the arcane research, rescribe it, and be able to pass that out to other wizards because I've already done it. So I think that's a lot of fun and gives this type of wizard something that they can do with their downtime.
Now, the last ability is cool. I don't know how often it really matters. I find rarely does it matter whether you're casting a spell as a ritual or as an action for those particular spells in general, right? But you know what? There might become a time when you have a time crunch, and if you weren't this wizard class, you didn't have an option of casting as a ritual. So essentially, it's just a free casting.
It's a free casting, and I dig it. But I think for the most part with wizards, I think detect magic is going to be your big go-to for this one. So you don't have to prepare it, and you can ritual cast it, right out of the book without expending that extra time. To me, I think that is big and will allow you to kind of play a little bit more creatively and not worry about the waste of your spell slots.
Right, or like you're in combat, there's an invisible opponent. You don't have, see invisibility, but you have detect magic in your book. It's a ritual spell, so you can cast it as an action instead of a ritual. And now you have it, and you get the free casting, and maybe you can see the invisibility spell.
That's going to be, up to your GM as to how that particularly works. Next up, we've got Manifest Mind at 6th level. You can conjure forth the mind of your awakened spellbook. As a bonus action, while the book is on your person, you can cause the mind to manifest a tiny spectral object hovering in an unoccupied space of your choice within 60 feet of you. The spectral mind is intangible and doesn't occupy its space and sheds a dim light in a 10-foot radius. It looks like a ghostly tome, a cascade of text, or a scholar from your past, your choice. While manifested, the spectral mind can hear and see. It has dark vision with a range of 60 feet. The mind can telepathically share with you what it sees and hears, no action required. Whenever you cast a wizard spell on your turn, you can cast it as if you were in the spectral mind space instead of your own, using its senses. You can do so a number of times per day equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. As a bonus action, you can cause the spectral mind to hover up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space that you or it can see. It can pass through creatures but not objects. The spectral mind stops manifesting if it is ever more than 300 feet from you, if someone casts a spell magic on it, if the awakened spellbook is destroyed, if you die, or if you dismiss the spectral mind as a bonus action. Once you conjure the mind, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest, unless you expend a spell slot of any level to conjure it again.
So, I mean, there's a lot of utility to this. One of the things is you're not going to be sneaking around when you have this manifested, because it's like a little beacon. But that being said, like you can move 30 feet, summon it 60 feet away, and now you just gain 90 feet on the spell you want to cast, essentially, right? So you can cast it through it instead. Also, like maybe you're not in danger by being as close as you maybe wouldn't want to be, and then on your turn you can use your bonus action to direct it and move it away. Typically, I feel like wizards don't often have as many things to do with their bonus actions. Occasionally, they have they can Misty Step, or they might have a spell that they can use as a bonus action. But in this case, gaining an extra 30 feet of range on a spell could be super useful.
I think this is a lot of fun and allows yet again for another tactical aspect for the wizard, which when you've got the ability to use area effect spells and this and that, I think at higher levels this winds up making Thunderwave a little bit more useful to you, because it's like, oh well, I don't want to get into melee with these things, but Thunderwave is a really good spell because it can hit that grid of 9. And you don't need to get all the way up close, and it can then push things even further and possibly push them outside of even approaching melee range with your allies.
I mean, it can go up to 300 feet away from you. It only Dispel Magic gets rid of it. It's not vulnerable to attacks. All in all, it's super useful, and I imagine you can use it to peek around corners.
Yeah, the whole scouting aspect that doesn't use any of your actions, I think is fantastic.
Yeah, so 10th level we get Master Scrivener. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can create one magic scroll by touching your wizardly quill to a blank piece of paper or parchment and causing one spell from your awakened spellbook to copy onto the scroll. The spellbook must be within 5 feet of you when you make the scroll. The chosen spell must be first or second level and must have a casting time of 1 action. Once in the scroll, the spell's power is enhanced, counting as 1 level higher than normal. You can cast the spell from the scroll by reading it as an action. The scroll is intelligible to anyone else, and the spell vanishes from the scroll when you cast it or when you finish your next long rest. Also, you are also adept at crafting spell scrolls, which are described in the treasure chapter of Dungeon Master's Guide. The gold and time you must spend to make such a scroll is halved if you use a wizardly quill. So, we're getting 2 benefits. One is we're better at making scrolls, faster, cheaper, awesome. 2, we just get a free scroll for a first level or second level spell that counts as a second or a third level spell.
Yeah, I dig that. And, you can just be like, bloop, you touch it, it works for the day. It allows you to really be able to all right, what do I think I'm going to be using? And if you've got your preferred attack spell, all right, I'm gonna use this, and you've got it. So the first round of combat, all right, boom, I'm gonna blast this thing out, and you get that free upcasting that doesn't cost a spell slot either. So it's pretty nice.
It is pretty nice.
So 14th level, we got our last ability, One with the Word. Your connection to your awakened spellbook has become so profound that your soul has become entwined with it. While the book is on your person, you have advantage on all intelligence arcana checks, as the spellbook helps you remember magical lore. Moreover, if you take damage while your spellbook mind is manifested, you can prevent all of the damage to you by using your reaction to dismiss the spectral mind, using its magic to save yourself. Then roll 3d6. The spellbook temporarily loses spells of your choice that have the combined spell level equal to that roll or higher. For example, if the roll's total is 9, spells vanish from the book that have a combined level of at least 9, which could mean you lose 1 9th level spell, 3 3rd level spells, or some other combination. If there aren't enough spells in the book to cover the cost, you drop to 0 hit points. Until you finish 1d6 long rests, you are incapable of casting the lost spells, even if you find them on a scroll or in another spellbook. After you finish the required number of rests, the spells reappear in the spellbook once you use this reaction, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest.
So this is one that like changed a lot from the UA.
Yeah.
Like it was like if you die, you could use it, but you would lose the spells permanently, and then you couldn't use the ability again for like a die 6 days or something.
Well, I thought like you permanently lost those spells.
Yeah, you did. You would have to re-put them in your book and find them or whatever. I believe.
And now it's like, oh well, you get X amount of time until you can actually use them again, which is like, all right, so
that amount of time was like how long between using this reaction.
So I definitely like it better now, and like you have to get to the end and be like, okay, it's definitely different than it was before.
Yeah.
Because it's, especially as we kind of said at the beginning, wizards have that extra gold cost that no other class gets to get access to that versatility that makes wizards so awesome.
Yeah, for sure. But, before it was such... I think this is a little bit better balance. It's like you're going to lose access for up to a week-ish, which isn't so bad. And then also you're getting the extra benefit of being able to get advantage on your intelligence arcana checks, which is also cool for this particular wizard.
So, I mean, all in all, I think this is a great class. I think there's a lot of, flavor to it. There's a lot of things that you can use and exploit. I definitely feel that there are things that, speak to me in regards to, oh, well, are we going to then begin seeing book as a magical focus for, other wizards? Is that going to be a thing that, could be done? Because we already
we've seen magic items, right? There's magic items that other wizards can use as their focus, and they are books. And as a matter of fact, they're all in that book.
So, there's definitely, the choice. And I love this class as is. If you happen to be following us over on the Nerdarchy live channel, I'm running the Untraditionally Arcane, which has got an entire cast of wizards, one of which is the Order of the Scribes, which I think is pretty cool.
So let us know what you think down in the comments below. Are you playing this subclass? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Tell us your Order of Scribes stories down below and share them with the Nerdarchy community.
While you're down there, don't forget to do all those things that make the YouTubes and Nerdarchy happy. Like, share, subscribe, even go ahead and attune to that notification bell.
Quick reminder, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we drop new videos here on the channel. Come on back. If you can't wait till then, that's okay. We got you covered. Check out up here this card. You can find the 5e Wizard Tradition Blade Singing.
So until next time, stay nerdy.